Hello, people. How's it going? Well, it's another day here in the land of Minnesota. Fall is around the corner. I'm about to discuss my least favorite subject because apparently it's also the most popular thing I talk about on my YouTube channel, which is fine. If people want to listen to me ramble and babble about politics, I'll ramble and babble about politics because I don't like politics. Well, let me put it this way: what I don't like about politics is how it's used, how it's turned into a manipulative tool, has been weaponized. It's been pretty much everything other than helping society be a better society. No one's ever going to convince me politics, modern politics, I might add, is good for anybody. It's corrosive anyway. The elections are around the corner, as we all know. Yeah, I know. I wiped out my hand at work. Anyway, the elections, which are around the corner, and the certain parties of people who can't stand Donald Trump are trying it very, 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 very obvious to those who are paying attention that they don't want Trump running, which is the only thing they're proving is they're terrified of Trump. Is because unfortunately Trump does represent a lot of the failures of the present president and his party and those who follow it, whether you like it or not. Those are the facts. Okay. The problem is, I when I look at the political landscape, what I see is basically destroy anything and everything that you don't like or disagree with. Basically, to quote Thomas Jackson at the end of the Battle of Fredericksburg, kill them all. Or, I'm sorry, and that is also what it's like with politics now. Politics has become so violent and so destructive and so hateful to the point to where it isn't about helping people. It isn't about society becoming better or improving or whatever. I mean, look. Certain parties can preach all they want about how we're interested in diversity and we're interested in this person's rights and that person's rights and that group's rights and blah blah blah. No, it's about political power. That's all politics is about anymore. It's not about doing anything other than vote for me and I will help you to continue to act like a victim while you're not, but vote for me where I can help you continue to act like a victim. Because you're a victim and you need me as a politician to help you. Of course, I don't actually help you. I just want you to vote for me. I mean, anybody who is dumb enough to think that politicians actually care about them as individuals, I have beachfront property in Arizona for you. And if you haven't figured it out, Arizona is a landlocked country state. Almost said country. Look, it's very simple. The elections are around the corner, which means that I will have constant political ads on my YouTube channels interrupting what I'm trying to watch. I don't care what side is doing a political ad. I don't listen to any of them. I don't care who you are, Democrat or Republican. I don't care. Okay. I am beginning to really believe that there really is no difference anymore between those two parties. One knows what it wants and will do whatever it takes to take power and to control power. The other one is so terrified of its own shadow, it doesn't know what to do with itself, except do what the Democrats tell it to do. Oh, sure, there are a few people in politics in Washington, D.C., who are trying to do the right thing and trying to stand up and so on and so forth. But unfortunately, when push comes to shove, most of them will pretty much back down and do whatever they're told. Look, I voted in the last election. I knew full bloody well that they were not going to let Trump win. They were going to do every single thing in their power to keep him from winning. And they don't care. The people who vote for these people don't care. But there was a very questionable election, a presidential election last time. I don't care what you tell me. There was something very wrong. Way too many things just did not make sense. Now, I actually do believe that they're trying everything in their power to keep him from running this time again, because he does represent a lot of their failings. And I'm sorry, they do. Whether some of you want to see this or not, Biden is a failure as a president. I've yet to see anybody who voted for him tell me how good he's doing, a job he's doing. All those people who are complaining and whining about Trump, I haven't heard them say one single positive thing that Biden has done since being president. One of which is there is something unfortunately medically wrong with him. It is obvious that that man has a medical problem, and that's sad. That's unfortunate that we have someone who might possibly have a medical problem. He shouldn't be there, and Kamala Harris will be a disaster if she ever gets in the White House. I'm sorry. I'm not sure what that woman's qualifications for being a vice president are, but she is weird. Look, I know people don't like Trump, and I know why they don't like Trump. And I know why there are people who like Trump, and I know why people who are going to vote for Trump. But don't be surprised if he doesn't win. Because I have a suspicion, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I have a suspicion he's not going to be allowed to win again. They are not going to tolerate it. They're not going to live with it. And they don't want, they can't let him win. Look, it's very simple. Politics, modern politics in this country is not about making us a better country. It literally is not. If you think it is, then I can't help you. Okay? If you really think that Biden and all this wokeism and all this progressivism and all this gender identity politics, all this identity politics, whatever you want to call it, whatever words you want to use, is actually beneficial and actually helping, it's not. Okay? There's a lot of faults on both sides. But I am sorry. There is far more destructiveness on the left. I am sorry. I'm a libertarian. I don't trust the Republicans any more than I trust the Democrats or the liberals or whatever they're called. I don't know what to call them because they all have, this is like a giant hydra with all these heads. And so I just call them politics. I mean, modern politics. I call it the modern politics hydra, and those are all its heads. You can cut off one head and another one's going to show up. I don't like politics. This is why I don't like politics, because one, it really is divisive. It really is destructive. We don't have statesmen anymore. We have political hacks. We have people who only care about winning your vote by basically paying you money. You know, those rebate checks you get, that's a bribe. They are bribing you to pay for them. I'm not going to vote for them. I'm not going to vote for them. That's money that probably you shouldn't have had in the first place that you took from me. Taxation is theft. Sorry, but taxation is theft. And I repeat, taxation is theft. I mean, I get very frustrated when I look at one particular group in politics is involved, and that is the church. See, a lot of my frustrations has more to do with those who claim to be Christians, who claim to be followers of this, that, and the other, sovereign God, as they call them, because they don't act like it. They act as if somehow they're the sovereign God, and God just goes along with it. I think they're in for a surprise. A very bad surprise. But anyway, look, it's very simple. The election is coming up. Apparently, these videos of me talking politics seem to be very popular. They do seem to be the ones that get the most views, which is fine. This is fine. I don't care. I do care. I care in the sense that I wish my other videos get more views. But if people want to at least sit here and listen to me ramble about politics, which I think is the dumbest subject on the planet, unfortunately, everything has been so politicized, including writing now, literature, sports, journalism, movies. There are very few good movies anymore. There are very few good anything anymore because politics has seeped in and corrupted everything it touches. It corrupts people. It amazes me how political certain people become that they literally lose sight of that is another human being you're screaming at and wanting to kill and wanting to hurt. I've heard it on the radio, and I've heard it on the TV, and I've watched it read it on other things. Politics is evil. Modern politics is evil. It is becoming evil. It is becoming divisive. It is becoming, it's becoming a cult. Politics is becoming a cult. That's the best way to put it. The cult of politics is very much alive, and very much alive in this country. Because the cult of politics is not going to let Donald Trump win. And they're going to do. What do you think all this has been about since he's come out of office? Is to stop him from running. And Donald Trump just keeps on rolling along like he just does not care, because he knows what's going on. And those people who support the attacks on him, I hate telling you this, but this very same government you're hurraying on and cheering on, it isn't going to take much for them to realize, okay, you're next. Because you may be supporting us, but you're not supporting us enough. It's funny about tyranny. It's funny about, governments that when people support it, as long as they think they're on that side, they get turned on eventually. Politics has no loyalty. There is no loyalty in politics. Politics does not have anything to be loyal about except the state. And if you're not 100% loyal to the state, you are the enemy. Welcome to communism. Welcome to socialism. Welcome to totalitarianism. Welcome to America and what it's becoming. I hope I'm wrong. I really hope, I wish and hope I'm wrong. I really do. This is one of the few things I don't care if I'm wrong about. But I don't think so. I mean, politics is destroying the church. It's destroying families. It's destroying society. It's tearing down anything and everything. It's redefining words. By the way, just read George Orwell. That's what's happening. Read Animal Farm. Read 1984. Read the biography of George Orwell. And you will realize that he was warning us what was coming. Because, as I keep saying, I'm going to keep saying it. I know I'm going to keep saying it in all the other videos I'm going to do on politics. And I'm going to hate myself for saying all this stuff, because I've met a lot of very nice people who I don't agree with politically, but they're very nice people. But they're sheep. Some of them are sheep. I'm sorry, but they are. And there are sheep on the other side too, believe me. The sheep don't occupy just one side of the bird, of the political wing. They are on both sides. I do understand why Trump was elected. I know for well why Trump was elected. I also know why Trump is going to have to be stopped in a upcoming election, and that's why they're doing it. They're trying to stop him. I mean, do I think it's going to work? Yeah, I hope I'm wrong. I hope that enough Americans realize what's going on and they do something about it. Unfortunately, Americans cannot walk around without their phones plastered to their faces long enough to notice what's going on. It amazes me just how ignorant and how absolute. I can't even think of the word I'm thinking of. Just blind. That's the word. Blind. A lot of American people are when it comes to the news, the media, to politics and what's happening, and it's as if they just don't care. Because they got their little phone, that's all they need. Okay, I didn't hate Barack Obama when he was president. I didn't agree with anything he said, but I didn't hate him. I had no reason to hate the man. His politics, what he was doing, yes. It's like with starting to just, it didn't disconnect last time. Anyway, I have nothing against Biden as a human being. I have no business disliking him as a human being. But his policies and his politics and his party and everything else he's doing is destroying this country. Because that's what liberals do. They seem to think they have to destroy and then somehow build on the rubble they've created, but they don't build anything. And Biden does have a medical problem, people. I'm sorry, I'm serious. I think medically there is a problem. I'm sorry, I do. And it's sad. But anyway, I'm at 15 minutes almost. I want to stop rambling and babbling, but I'll probably talk more about this again later. You know I will, because people like my political ramblings. But I really do not believe that Trump is going to be allowed to win. Plain and simple. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And unfortunately, too many people in this country do not have a problem with a government weaponizing certain departments and weaponizing certain things about this country and the election system to stop him. That is called the beginning of dictatorships, tyranny, totalitarianism, and so on and so forth. Anyway, behave yourselves, people. Because I'm not going to, as you can tell, I don't know how. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Adios. Arrivederci.